Is this truly a beautiful journey when you allow it to be a beautiful journey? Is this truly a beautiful journey when you allow it to be a beautiful journey?
Welcome to the APL Spotlight series, a new series. We just started it at the end of 2023 in the fall. We have 3 guests lined up already for 2024. Welcome to 2024. My name is Michael Andre Ford. Let me share who I am. I help people let go long enough to feel, hear, see angels, loving guides, religious figures, non-religious figures, Native American chiefs, figures from India, your loved ones, light beings. Yes, they exist. Fairies as well. It's a lot to take in, but when you're in your heart, and I'll end with this, you're connected to all, you have no limits, you get your answers, get your hugs, get healing, and see angels full on. Why not? What will you allow for is the only question. Speaking of which, we have an expert in quantum field stuff. I said it the wrong way. Manifesting, being in your heart more, love, connected to the universe, and allowing the quantum field, the universe, to do its job to bring you your heart's desires, your heart's fulfillment. I like the word fulfilled. When it comes to Ronel Lonzer, South African, living in Germany, the Bremen area. Call her Ronny. Her website, it's just quantumu.co. Quantumu, like YOU.co. Ronny, welcome to the show again. You were on Angels, Positivity, and Love in 2023. It was fantastic to have you on then. People can check out that episode. Welcome to the APL Spotlight series. What do you have for us? Say hello, and what do you have for us to start us off with?
Hello, thank you so much, Michael. I'm so excited to be back with you. It's so fun. You make it so fun. You're always cracking jokes, and everybody who knows you knows it's just a fun time. And that's what I enjoy about you and your angels that surround you. And you're always so giving and loving. And I just enjoy the moments with you in such a way. And I'm just so excited about your program. I just want to say that to everybody out there, go watch all his interviews. They are amazing. I love your guests that you have on the show. Of course, here I am. And we start with ourselves. No, I'm just kidding. But it's been amazing. And yes, since the last time I was here, a lot of things shifted for me. And I just love that I could sit here and just share from my experience. You know, when you said about manifesting and bringing forth things out of in your life, where we start off our journey and you hear about somebody can manifest something and you start realizing, oh my gosh, there's more than what I just perceive it to be, the world, and I can actually change something about my circumstances and everything. And you start feeling so empowered. But most of my experience with clients has been then they start and they're excited and they go and tell everybody, I'm just going to manifest this and I'm going to manifest that. And within 6 months, they are tired, they're exhausted, and they depleted, and they disillusioned because it seemed so great, but it is great, but they start off with the external reality, trying to create things from the external. As you said before, I think we spoke, you said the external is already manifested in a way. So they try and create things from that position instead of from who they are. Because as we know, the universe responds to us in such a beautiful way. It responds to who you are. It's as if, all the time, if we don't realize that, you have every single aspect of the trees and the cushion that you sit on and the bed that you sleep on that are always bowing down to you and saying, you are creator. What would you like to bring forth? And it doesn't respond to mere vain imagination. I guess if you sit down and you meditate and you can produce things, but it doesn't really shift who you truly are. It doesn't change that you realize. Sarah, I'm going to ask you a question. If you have the choice to instantly manifest something that's going to just supply certain things for now, like, from the external, and you get the car that you want, but you're still not truly happy, you're still not truly in love with life, you're still not truly experiencing bliss in your everyday, which one would you choose, Michael?
Dude, the positivity is abundance, the vibe, whatever the word is, doesn't have to be positivity for everybody, but being here and owning you, connecting to your soul, no barriers, connecting to the universe, no barriers, is what we're all still exploring. And if it makes it sound like I even know what I'm talking about, I don't. But that's okay, because it's not about the knowing up here. It's about the unknowing and the being conscious and allowing with a capital A.
Absolutely. So then you start awakening. It's like you've been in a deep sleep. As a woman called Lillian de Waters from 1930, she was describing how chaotic the world was. 1930, and she was saying, don't go anywhere here and there. Go find everything. It's as if this holy grail is you. And yet we run to this pastor and that guru and this one, and we don't understand. It's not that we don't get people like you and myself. We are there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this, would we? We just the guiding light. Like you have a beautiful way of your angels that function with you being the guiding light for others until they know they are the guiding light. And this is so because, 90% of the world is still in a half asleep. So then you come to earth and you are here to bring the light, to say, here you go. Here's some help. You don't have to do this on your own. And this is what I love about what you do. And this is for each one of us. The people that you have on your show that also do this, that understand they are the light. They're not looking for a light somewhere. And then people come and they start experiencing what you have to offer. And then, as you also do, we go deeper. I love how you always say, get out of your head, stop thinking. And I love that because you always say, stop thinking. And that is where it's magic. It's thoughtless magic. It's thoughtless magic. So what is thoughtless magic? That's where manifestation starts, because it's where you become so awake in going back to zero, no more belief system, no more thinking, as you are always saying to us. What is going back to zero? Is where you're going back to the fullness of who you are in the first place. The love that there's no more thinking. I think the Bible says there's a quote or a scripture. I'm not really good with, where it is, but it says, take no thought of what you shall drink and what you shall eat. Think about how much we think of what we have to eat and what we have to drink. And you bring it right to the point. And this is, I think, so intertwined with what I'm saying here as well. There is no more thinking. It's magic manifestation, thoughtless bringing forth. And there's another guy, Richard Dotz, who explains this so well. Where he was speaking about, if there's something that seems your mind is going off with, and you are trying to now imagine something great, like let's give an example. What is something people love to have? Like, what do they feel separate from?
Money. We'll do money.
Okay, so a big one, hey? That's a big thing, but it's actually not a big thing. So with this, awakening that there is only one, that every tree, everything, the money, energy, everything is you. Where is the money coming from? From here. See, we go and we start imagining our bank account, but we still see the bank account being separate from us, separate from that experience. And the more you go deeper, like you say, it's got to be thoughtless. It's got to be 0 point where no belief system and the filter is still telling you what is truth about you. And I started saying this, I want to go back to zero. I don't want to know from somebody who God is, who source is, who universe. I want to go back to zero, because I knew in the zero is all that we are, because that's our original natural perfection. So if it is money, then you become one with abundance. If you look at nature, if the Mother Earth, you were speaking about it before we came on. Mother Earth is so abundant. The trees, the leaves, the grass is myriads. It never ends. The sea, the sea, the salt, the sand and the sea, on the shores. If you look at the sky, the stars, that is the natural state. So it's when you start going, okay, I am abundance because everything is abundance. and everything is in me, and you draw it out of yourself. You know, I'm reminded, and you got to be deserving of that, because giving, receiving, it's one thing. It's no, I give, now somebody is going to receive, like in the head thing. It's just who you are. It's giving, receiving. It's like a push, like you always talk about the heart. It's like a heart pumping. And it's such a beautiful picture. So then when you're saying about manifestation, then you just, when you then bring forth a thought, I mean, I would like to see more of this in my expression or in my experience. It's just going to be something you're just going to bring forth out of yourself. Like this one guy, he needed a visa, and he needed one in Russia. And then he realized, hang on a second, Russia isn't me. The visa isn't me. I'm just going to draw out the visa from the department. It's not separate from me. Tax isn't separate from me. It's within me. Now, it takes a bit of practice, as you know, because we would tell you. But when you see something and it doesn't seem like the perfection that you are, the simplicity is just to go, okay, I'm not identifying with lack anymore. I'm not identifying with scarcity, because I'm perfection. I'm abundant. I identify with abundance. I am source. I am God. I identify with all that is. You see, sometimes we do so much work, and this is what I have been doing, so much work to make perfect, which is already perfect, because my mind has created an illusion. It's like you're sleeping. It feels really real when you're asleep, doesn't it? And you wake up, you go, gosh, that was so real. It's because there's still a fogginess. It's like we're in a sleep, because we still identify with something that is not something. And then we try and align. Like I'm speaking to stuff that I was doing all the time, and then we try and align something. What do you want to align with perfection? Perfection is perfection. So we think we have to align the mind to the perfection, but if you take no thought, there's no mind to align, because you will understand it's just when you go back to ground zero, it's all that is. So then, like I said, you draw out of yourself. So when, like I said, when you see something that is not in love, because what is lack and scarcity? It's just a perception that there's a lack of love. It's like you go, that is separate from me, and I keep lacking scarcity, but the oneness of all that love is, the abundance that you are wanting to see. So you go, okay, this is not really working. My separateness, I'm holding this on. And this, you know what holding on does? So I'm going to just let love dissolve, like Richard Dodds would say, let, what does he call it? Not mind connect to not mind. You will love that. You know, you always say to me, Ronel, not mine. And you connect not mind to not mind. Or you can say, it doesn't really matter what you say, does it? And you just connect, and this love dissolves this perception that's been hanging there that is not even true. So why try to fix it? Why try to change it? And like you go, you just connect to your angels that are just bringing forth this. So there's no more trying. For me, it has to be, this is my deepest desire from long ago. I'm going to stop now. It's just the simplicity of this.
Einstein talks about the consciousness that says, identifies with the problem or says my problem is not the consciousness level. Like a broader consciousness is what you have when it's moved away. So it's just expansion, growth, which we fight up here as much as we can to resist. Because who wants actual change? Who wants to make it really easy? Who wants to allow it to be as it already is? I'm going to put up Joy and Geronimo and just get another pointer on the exact same line and track of talking right now. You can choose both. You can do one or the other, but you'll hear Geronimo, you'll hear Joy, get a little laugh, and one of them is giving you a great segue into the next conversation. Who are you picking, Joy or Geronimo, or both?
I got something, as it was so quick, because you just brought something up, and I just knew that was it, the allowing for.
Okay.
That is so profound. So, you know, I've spoke about lots of things that it takes. It's not like one day I wake up and it was like this, as you know. You know, the allowing for is a gateway. Like Eckhart Tolle, he said, allowing for is a gateway of the heart that opens, and it's a full yes. And I love that you brought that. You see, it's just meant to go this way, because what happens when you allow for something, and you say, this is so, the mind cannot handle this. You say a full yes to whatever situation. You approve. So someone says, you asshole. You might have a fight with your partner. And your ego just go, but I need to defend myself. But you rather choose, I allow for, and I back that up with a full yes. And then things just start to shift, because what you just allow is life to flow from that position of your heart, the heart gate. And if we say, no, I don't like this, what happens is it's a full no. And what we know, Michael, the no stops all flow. Oh, look, I'm laughing now because what, this journey is real, more real than do you see? Oh my gosh, that's exactly what we are speaking
Yeah, the
about.
journey
Wow.
is real. This is Chogyam Trungpa talking. You know, he passed, I think, in 1988, but he's reconciled. He's unconditional love. People can hear and see him and get a hug and stuff like that. He'll take you to Tibet with your eyes shut. Not a plane ticket that you're getting for free for Tibet. Well, you never know. This journey is real, more real than the waking dream of your usual life. Pay attention. And that is what Ronny is reminding us right now, or Ronel, to pay attention more or less.
Exactly. And what, you say, now I'm sitting with you and now all these little rhymes come up, and this is all got to do with your angels, because I don't do rhymes like this. What did I say? When the heart closes and it says no, then it stops the flow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So what happens when we stop the flow? I think you can take off, Roya, because you know exactly what I mean when I say about the allowing for and the life that comes through when we allow for, and we just let the mind of whatever is going on here and try and figure out, what is there anything for you to do? Like from your experience too, I've seen in my own life, when I'm annoyed with my husband for some reason he said, because it triggered me, like something really came forth, then maybe it takes you a bit like, okay, and maybe you said asshole. Okay, but when you then realize, okay, hang on a sec, there's a better way, there's a higher way, there's a higher self way, and then you go, I allow for that. You can go and do it on your own, because I don't have to now go and stand there. I can just go into my room and I can do this, and it shifts the energy so amazingly.
So there's a higher way. We'll just call it a highway where you can go like an Autobahn, since you're in Germany. The Autobahn is about the fastest way to go if you don't have a chopper or an airplane or instant transport. That's also possible too. Good luck with that. But so talk to us a little bit more about at the practical and tactical level, what can a person start doing now that clears the deck from out of thinking and into their heart?
That is such a good thing that you say that, because like I said, speaking from this position, it was a journey, and I'm still doing that, because sometimes it's like I call it a blackout. I forget that I'm I'm not sleeping anymore. But it's so amazing, because if you start doing just the allowing for, like I said, it opens your heart to just start accepting what you can't change at that moment. And that is, I can mention things that we went through last year with business, and horrible things that happened in the sense. And I can share this year. Someone died in our business. He had an accident, and in Germany, and I think anywhere in the world, you could end up in jail as the owner of a company. So first of all, it's a great shock to myself. It took me 3 days to really get to a place of allowing for that to have happened. And especially bigger things brings forth, what we call bigger and smaller. It just jolts us a little bit more. And then going into real acceptance and allowing for that to have happened, not question, why did this happen? Oh, they treat you like, first of all, like a criminal when things like that happen. And then the fears that start arising. Oh my gosh, what if? And through this journey of 6 months of having moments where it's absolute bliss, and I could totally allow for it, and I could understand, to then what took me a while is allowing for every outcome. See, this is, most people don't understand that it's not like you say, okay, I'm going to allow for this that could happen, or I'm not going to allow for that. You got to allow for everything, because there is the yes for life to shift things.
Mm.
And then we got the Christmas present, all was dealt with, all was done. But the knowingness of getting to that point where you say, it scared me and everything. And I ended up getting dreams about, I would see in my dreams, I would see gold and rubbish. Like, this is already a subject in itself, because it explains it. In my dream, I saw gold and rubble mix and go through a portal, and it created a golden house. So it was like the universe saying to me, see the gold, see the gold, by allow life to come flowing through. So there was one incident. And in between, we have little things that just keeps us in practice. And why would we keep on in practice? Only because we are still resisting in many ways. Okay, because until you just don't sense resistance, until we come to a place where you are so at peace, where nothing moves you anymore. And all those things, because I see every single thing as an opportunity. Even if somebody speaks to me in a horrible way, it's my opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it might take a glitch, like, oh, minute, okay, hang on a sec, forgot my opportunity to know who I am as love, to opportunity to experience love, no matter what.
Everything's your instruction. Everything is your room for opportunity. If not straight opportunity, at least say it's room for opportunity, so you can buy yourself some maneuver to give yourself a day, an hour to, less human, more heart, less thinking, more heart. And then it was either Freud or Carl Jung that had the classic case study with a patient who was getting visions or dreams of gold locked into rocks, which reminded me very much of what you had just mentioned. The more you allow, the more the things that delight your heart can come to fruition. And by putting your resistance up to, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want this. We're not saying don't have your preferences, but by just allowing everything to be as it already is, and really focusing on the highest vibe, maybe visualizing. Why don't you talk about that? How can a person physically take some steps to keep their heart energy going in the direction of what's the most fun for unfolding ahead?
Okay, what I think is great that you mentioned, because it's always important, and I love this, what you're doing is remember how this unfolded for me. So in the beginning, I also used to say, first of all, they're allowing for that it's happening for me. And the other thing, it's just for now. It's that you don't have, and you just mentioned something like that you don't see this mountain in front of you. You can just be in the moment and say, this is like this, I'm feeling this just for now. And I found that helped me a tremendous amount. And then coming back to the visualizing, it's, if a lot of people speak about manifestation, but what if we manifest love first of all? What if we manifest peace? Because isn't that, I think there's another, who speaks of it this way? I forgot the author's name. He said it's like a pyramid. Okay. So if if we want to, we can start manifesting anything by really going in and seeing yourself there. But he said, then you end up with all the things, and this part where it's love, peace, joy, that fulfills your soul is still desiring this fulfillment. So then you have all the things, but you're missing the fulfillment of the love, peace, joy, happiness. Because then when you have those, all these things just come automatically. Otherwise, like putting a cart in front of the horse. And that's why I've made it my absolute purpose to really bring people into the manifestation of the identity, their true identity as divine, as peace, love, joy. Because then the things that then what happens, how you manifest then. It comes, you think a thing, you get joyful about it, you think, oh, that will be nice. I love to see it. It's a joyful place. It's playful. This is for you. It's playful. You're always doing playful. So it's the playfulness. This is a game. Sometimes now when oh, this looks challenging. Hang on a sec, I forgot I'm doing this game. But like I said, start with the allowing, move into seeing how peaceful you are, how loving you are in places where you start noticing, oh my gosh, that normally would have just whacked me right over. So what happens? What is the sign of yawning? You said this to me
Yawning and
sometimes.
tears, you're releasing, or just getting into that flow of openness.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
itching my face too because it's itching. This is all very much resonating. I love it.
yeah.
People may or may not understand how it is so easy. It's so already here inside you. And yet, let's do the human thing for a second. You've got my problem is, my situation is the cousins, the bills, the health, the job loss. You just lost a relative, they passed over. I mean, there's so many ways you can be upside down in your boat, capsized, starting to capsize, water everywhere. It's a disaster. You don't understand. But then there's here, and here, I'll do it this way. Love is a constant. The universe is a constant. Manifesting is a constant. Everything's a constant that especially Ronny is talking about. And it's there. And
Mm,
only thing that can pull you away is 5 to 400 million trillion thought forms that
mm,
pull you out of the dynamic that is you, that is so beyond structure, human structure. It's so limiting up here. And guess what? We're going to do it all the time. So don't expect to just like start levitating tomorrow. But just 7% less thinking a week is what Charlotte the Angel said. I happen to have her right here. What's Charlotte say our next segue topic is? But if you could also give a one-liner, if you don't mind listening the whole way with her, what does she say we just need to remember to keep it easy? What does she have for us? And then which way are we going?
I felt spirit is always in motion, and to go, like you said in the beginning, so for people that want to understand it in a science way, what is spirit in motion? What does it actually mean? And when we say allowing for, do a picture. Let's show the audience what does this look like in the quantum field.
Ooh.
Okay, okay, so energy is motion. It always moves. Like we said, Einstein said energy, like a matter is a lower form of energy. So energy is moving. The energy is like an angel you don't see because they move fast. Energy is very high frequency, and matter is a lower form of frequency, a lower form of energy, but it's still not solid. So you're actually sitting, according to Einstein, according to all the quantum people, quantum mechanics, you're actually sitting on nothing because
You're sitting on
yeah,
angels and you don't even know it, and they don't mind.
yeah. So because we spoke about this in the last interview we did, but it's always, I cannot listen to things enough because a lot of people say, oh, I've heard that before. If your life hasn't changed, you haven't heard it before. I'm sorry. It's for me, I will take a book, I will read 3 pages, I'll stay on there, stay on there, stay on there because I want to experience it. So that's a tip anyway for anybody who goes into this. Listen, if something on this interview you hear something and you go, oh, this is resonating, stop, write it down, stay there, stay there. And I think that you were also teaching me that just now when we were doing a bit of a session with your angels. Slow down. Okay.
And I have to hear things 1,000 times. I mean, I'm seriously slow in the uptake. It's helpful for me in a way because when I finally learn it, I learn it. But I'll give you an example for folks. I think it's on my suggested reading movie page. It's a movie, Peaceful Warrior, Dan Millman. Nick Nolte is the actor, Amy Smart, Scott Meklowitz. I have watched that movie maybe 100 times in 10 years. I'm still discovering, or I ask myself, how did I miss this before? Why did I not see this before? And it makes sense, and I take it in. So it's like a never-ending cupful of, if you like wine, cupful of wine that gets refilled every time you watch that movie. It's a Zen movie. It's totally about spirituality, if you ask me, but it's just a sports gymnastics movie if you want to keep it basic. It's an adult Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi figure is the gas station attendant. And it's what Ronnie's talking about with books and everything else. You just have to get out of your own way to appreciate, allow, and there's another word in
Mm.
there, angels. Let angels do the work of helping it absorb, allow, and appreciate.
I love what you say that because if you open your heart and don't act like you know something, because every time I thought I knew something, it's like it went through my fingers again. Oh, I actually thought I know but I didn't know. but it was good until it wasn't. It's just so amazing. So that's so good to bring that up, because an open heart, and I love that, because there's infinite. I mean, infinite. Would you sit down and go, now I understand infinite, now I understand divine? No, that's the great part of going within. Like you said, everything is here. This is so exciting, because the external, you buy a new car, you drive it. Eventually you go, it's just a car. I'm good, so used to the car. But when you go to infinite and you start discovering who you are, then it just never ends. It just never gets boring. It just never does. Okay, but I don't want to go
No, that's
into that story.
beautiful. Appreciating the actual moment itself is the pinnacle of success. And abundance itself is, positivity, or we'll call it allowing. It's not the externals, but that's the way the externals get delivered if you want to go kind of practical. So there's
Yeah.
something about getting out of this labels, reacting, fear, stress, worry, all the thinking, which, by the way, is not going away for humans. Charlotte said, just here's the Olympic gold medal. The biggest tip I've got. She said 7% less thinking a day, which is the same for a week or a month. And I did a calculator the other day. I think it's 1.6 hours a day less thinking is the maximum for a typical human to do less thinking. That's it. So that means walk the dog, do yoga, read a book, let go, be here, do something. Even if you just rubbed your heart for 1.6 hours till your arm got sore. Kidding. Okay. Ronnie, I'm gonna put two angels, one Geronimo, unconditional love action figure. What do they have for the next direction to take us?
I feel to speak about what you're just saying. How do you get out of your head? In like a practical sense, like you said, rub your chest. That's a very good way. Is also what I used to do is I would realize that this head has got filters, so it absorb filters. So then I would imagine if I was thinking something and it would go off and build a story, and it's not even true, but it goes off, I would go, hang on a sec. All that story you're telling it is going through all your filters, and as you said before, ascend your mind. So go above your mind. Like I would see it as a go out of my mind. I would actually draw the head and say, okay, what is here in the quantum field? All possibilities. So now I'm gonna make a story that of the stuff I do want to have a story about. And that's how I used to then play this game, like put a little head there and go, oh, any limitation can only come from here. And this is also the thoughtless. So I would just imagine a quantum field is here, everything is here, every divine feeling is here, every possibility. I would then play around here, and I wouldn't go there. But so that's what I used to do. But to get back and just finish off, we were saying to make it practical, quantumly understand spirit emotion, and why we say allow for, because you as a quantum being, as an energy being, when everything flows, everything works. So if you stop the flow, everything comes to a standstill. You get sick because there's energy blockages. Now, people who do tune forking, or do things like you do, you can restore people's energy fields with your angels. It's just because those blockages gather in the magnetic field of their bodies. And if those blockages aren't released, because this is your nature, is flow. So that is, I just felt like to say that it makes sense when you say, I allow for, your heart opens, there's flow. And when you say, and in the Buddhist, they have a beautiful picture of rivers flowing down. And if while the rivers flow, it's always life. But when you start stacking the issues, and if there are rocks, and you stop the flow, then what happens to the river? It becomes
Stagnant.
yeah, stagnant. Yeah. So that's the same. Your heart is like that river. And that analogy for me is so, so amazing.
But you have to discover your river first. And we're up here so much that we don't even know the river exists. The river's your heart. It's your heart connected to the universe with no boundaries. And so
Yeah.
Scrooge from Christmas Carol at the beginning, and for half the movie, the book, 79-page book, he's dental floss. He's barely alive. He's so restricted in his thinking and knowing it's money, money, money. no charity, no causes, no other people, no relationships, no love, nothing, not even self-love, no concepts, but one thing, he's down to dental floss. But that guy switched literally in 1 minute of dream time. They make a whole movie out of the dream. Was it a dream? Was it more reality than anything else? And he got slapped around. But we forget when we say Scrooge or Ebenezer, we think negative. That's us. And that's us at the end of the book when he's happy, joy bringer, great business person. He's a manifester. He's got such a magnetic field that when he walks down the street, people stop to chat. He enjoys the chat. He's here 100%, zero. Oh, well, it's your 0.1
Yeah,
to
yeah,
100% being here at the end. So there are
yes.
two extremes that we're both like, whoa, I don't know if I'm that. I don't know if I'm that. And we're just like, we're not even in the Christmas Carol. You got to get
Yes,
to the Christmas Carol here.
that is beautiful. I love that. That is absolutely describes it so wonderfully. And then we choose to explain the 99.99% is the atom. They found out a quantum atom has got 99.999% empty space. It's not empty, but it looks empty. There's no matter in it, and only 0.0001% matter. And that just proves it, because you can't even, when they looked at the quantum model, you don't even see the matter in that. So that's what Michael is talking about, the 0.01%. So why do we choose the 0.01% as our reality, as you just said, and then everything just goes, and yet we have this bountiful energy that is all connected to source, that's all connected to divine, all actually not connected, is the divine, is source, and then we just don't know who we are. We think the external realm is our reality. We think this dream we are having, or the nightmare, so, in some senses, a nightmare we are going through is just all it's going to be. And then one day we sit and somebody listens to us, and we bring one little spark that ignites the divinity in them. And then they go, wow, life can actually be easier. I think we were meant to come here. In some sense, a lot of people would say, it is what it is and life is hard. But instead of changing that perception, seeing the wonder in everything, yeah, like we said, it's not always, I mean, it's not like you go and then some guy is spitting at you and you go, oh, I see the divine in you. Like, we will get there.
Yes.
But it's, in many cases, like I said in the beginning, it's just a few blackouts. I call it a glitch that I have sometimes.
As a kid, everyone hopefully knew at some point in their life, when they were in their teens, last week, when things were easy, at some point, everything is love, everything is easy, everything is possible. Most of the knowing, thinking, the reacting, the stress, the fear, the ego-based, the psyche-based, again, thinking up here, the neck and up, most of it precludes possibility. It's not about the flow state, whatever you want to call the heart, quantum field. So what you've got your life story. If you had to sit down and write your life story, you want to go reach out to Deepak Chopra. A lot of people, when they reach out to him, they're like, hey, I've got this happening, this happening, this happening, this happening. Their life story is 28 pages long and they want it fixed. And they're writing him, and they do this to every healer. They trauma dump, they life story dump. I've never seen anybody to this day that says, I am love. And that's their life story. And then everything Ronny's talking about is, where do you go after you're a clean slate? You're I am love. How do you begin fashioning that unique you, the unique life path you were meant to live, that's already written in the stars. It's written in concrete. It's written in the Akashic records. Whatever way you need to say it, your destiny. George Patton, in that 5/7 Oscar winning, it's George C. Scott playing Patton. I will be allowed to fulfill my destiny. Everyone, an artist, athlete, everyone has a very specific path they can get right back on. You're already on it. You have to have the taken away. And so you have a big heart. I'm going to light some sage, and we're going to set the stage for a little more on this whole, how do you get to zero? How do you clear out? How do you be in your heart? How can you be love? And then how do you start appreciating how it really works? And I'm going to light some sage from Texas to Germany right now. We did this before the show, and we do this on every show. At home, you can, I've never suggested this on a show. Put your hand out. Don't feel the flame. Don't feel heat. Feel love, feel vibration through two screens. Put your palm out. If you try too hard, you'll feel it on your toes as sparkle. Let angels do all the work. If you want my one recommendation, ask angels to make it nice. Get you out of your head, into your heart. Angels, get me out of my head, into my heart. Make this nice. Amen, rock and roll. Thank you. Om Sai Ram. Smell the sage, feel the sage. Now catch flowers on top of everything else. Ronny, you can ask for those South African flowers you got again. I forgot the name. It started with a P.
Proteas.
Yeah. So
Yes.
catch that again if you wish, or Cape Town this or something that. People can catch an ocean as well. Why not? Allow. If you're not doing allowing, you're doing thinking. You're up in the brain, which welcome to being human. We're not judging you. I do it. I go on a run. It takes me 15 minutes to lose a thought about a topic. And then I relax into the run. I'm looking at the cedar trees, the green. The trees will help you. Touch the tree. Look at the trees. See the green. Do something to get out of what you think you know, to be the bigger you that you already are. Okay, Ronny, you take over first. Are you smelling the sage and are you catching some flowers?
I'm smelling the sage. I smelled, and my hand felt warm when I did this.
Good. And now, what's it all mean? Let's tie this all together. How is this letting go, smelling sage, flowers, feeling something? How is it all interconnected?
Well, I think it's connected. I think the one guy I met, he says, "No, you mustn't think." And I think that's why you. So you see how much practice it takes. So I think the state of and the position that you start experiencing when you keep on doing these little things bring huge change in how you would see the world as one. You'll start seeing others as one with you. And when somebody does something, you will not look at them to sort out something. You'll start looking within yourself, because usually things around us, we were talking about manifestation. Everything around us, we manifest in some kind of degree. I don't want to say in everything, because, I don't want to say you manifested somebody really hurting you as a child, or I wouldn't go there. I'm talking about like little things we experience. Like you say, what would I like? I would like to see more money. There could be a sense of lack or scarcity in my understanding of what abundance is. So we start these little steps. And one thing is so important is not to compare yourself to somebody else's journey. Don't compare. Use everybody's journey as an inspiration. Just get excited about the little things that you experience. One thing I did, which was so fun, I saw on TikTok, this guy said, well, this is a good exercise we can give the audience. Imagine you have a purple feather, or purple or blue feather. I did this to just test it. So you close your eyes, you see this beautiful blue feather. It can be whatever color. You see it in a bubble come to you, and you just enjoy and you love this feather, and you see this feather, and you can see it like as if it's coming out of you. Not if, it probably is coming out of you because you're thinking of it now. You just see the beauty of this feather. You look at this feather, and then you just kind of let it go. And within a week, you will experience a feather. That's how you see, we want to start manifesting. You want to start manifesting loads of things, but we're not even willing to manifest a red car. You know what I mean by that? Seeing red cars. There's so many fun games, quantum games you can play. You can say, I'm going to focus on a red pen, or I'm going to focus on a pink car. Do pink, because do stuff that you don't normally see. And then you're going to start actually seeing pink cars. So I forgot about it. And a week later, I don't do status on WhatsApp. So I open it. I forgot about the blue feather. And there is a friend of mine out of India. There's one of his people he knows manifested a blue feather. And it's a picture of a blue feather. And that was within a week. That doesn't matter if it's on a screen. Remember, I'm one with all, and all is one with me. Isn't this fun? So we can start, and I think this wraps it up in a way. We can start by doing little things. Imagine small things. Imagine somebody giving you flowers, but always let it go. Let the universe come and serve you, because the universe is responding to you being who you truly are. So if you sense, oh, I'm sensing lack and I'm feeling, and most of the time it's the sense that we're not deserving. Okay. So that also, it's okay. We all we all feel that. Just invite love to dissolve undeserving. Invite love to dissolve lack, scarcity, and then just feel that connection to the abundance of the universe. And always remind yourself, like you said, when you go in nature, see the grass. That's who I am, abundant. And I think as you were saying, let's give people something they can start with.
Now, I'm going to throw a wrench into everything and do something funny for a second, and I'm going to try to
Yeah.
get to manifesting or allowing angels to do their jobs. Picture it this way. There's a part of everyone, if you're paying rent or if you own a home and you're not sure, the bills are so tight, finances are so tight. This is a tough economy in America for a lot of folks. Though it's not like 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm.
It's really tight. Interest rates are up, everything else. So there's a worry. Oh, what happens if I can't do this or this or this? Do I sell the extra car, the business, my job? What happens? I always flash back to how positive angels are. It's ridiculous. There's almost like you need a t-shirt to, you need a reminder to just, they have such a broad, constant love. You are supported all the time. When was the last
Yeah.
time you even allowed for that support to come through or thanked your angels? We forget everything all the time. But I'm getting to homelessness. I still remember an angel saying, homelessness, what an adventure. Like, how exciting. And I'm like, still 7 or 8
Wow.
years later, having heard it, trying to wrap my head around it because that's positivity. And it's the moment itself is all that matters. It doesn't matter whether you're clean shaven or not, whether you have the tattoos or not. And now I'm going to jump. I'm going to jump to your in your kitchen, like one of my guests from last year. You can get feathers physically, but you can get electronic feathers. And by that, I mean angel light. She's in her kitchen cutting a carrot or something, and a feather that was all angel light. So it's not real, but it's real. It's real. It's more
Wow.
real than
Yes.
a feather came tumbling down and landed on the edge of a glass, and she was stunned. She was having feathers all the time. A real feather, her masseuse on her stacked folded clothes said, I just found this feather. And she's like, whoa. And it's feather after feather after feather. Now, some people aren't going to relate to feathers. You have to find what you relate to here. There's 1 million
Yeah.
ways to relate. And once you find it there, that's the door opening this much to let the light in that allows you to go, okay, I'm getting hung up on words on this, this, this. It's not about
Yeah.
that. It's about this. So, Ronnie, here's two more angels, Joy and Charlotte. Can you tie a ribbon on all this and keep going with what we're talking about?
Yeah, as you said, it's all about your heart and your openness to be deserving that it's all for you and it's not some distant, the sun shines on everybody. And these sun rays goes to every single person. And you are those sun rays. And it's not, sometimes people say, yes, but that is unfair. But everybody can use whatever their situation is to the best. I have a wonderful, I call him my son. He's in South Africa. He came from the slums and he has gone back to his village and he has started feeding the children and really used his circumstances. He worked in a school teaching other people. Now he's teaching those kids, and he wants to show them how to do the land, how to bring forth vegetables, and it's just amazing. Like you said, if you just open your heart and you will see the way. You were also saying, how does somebody know what their way is? I always say, follow your joy. When what is my joy? If I have to speak about myself, I love to talk to people. I love to inspire people. When I sit in front of someone and I just see that light, the spark starts lighting up, my frequency just goes crazy. And the same for you. You're the same. So I don't have to wonder about what I'm meant to be doing. Now, it doesn't have to be in a certain way. I'm also allowing that to be in many ways. I love art. I paint. I love painting. I always have. Maybe one day I become a clothes designer. I've always wanted to do that. I just didn't want to sew. But you see, I'm not stopping there and going, because it can always unfold to something else. See, some people, you have to have it all figured out. And I see this with my sons and their friends. The 19-year-old friend of my son, her name is, I won't say her name, just now she doesn't want
Yeah.
me to.
Yeah.
She's so cute. And she's gone through such an awakening, and she's just asking me, give me books. I want to know, I want to know. And she's just swallowing up everything. And we have these conversations, and it's so beautiful how even perceived hard journey for her, like I won't mention what happened, but how she's used this opportunity, and she loves art, and she's just allowing herself to unfold. But she said, my son and her were talking, what are we gonna do in 10 years? And I don't know, Michael, when I was that age, I don't know, I just followed whatever. It was so different those days. I find though it was much more a non-thinking time. I would do this course, oh well, that didn't work. And then I would just kind of work at the bank. Oh well, I'll do my best there. But today it's like, no, not the bank, not this. And another thing, just allow things to unfold. And even if you go work at the bank and it's not your desired outcome, just do the bank, because that bank ended up being, he gave me a reference to work at Apple Computer that I loved because of that little bit of time. And sometimes people would come and they're like, I want to do my purpose and I'm going to leave my job. And I always go, no, no, don't for now. No, this is a given. It's a gift. Don't always run and think, do you, I don't know what your experience is with people, but yeah,
We
slow
do. If
down.
people could see the Himalayan mountains and understand that's all of humanity's thinking, or all the oceans, or all the land of the earth, let's do the land of the continents.
Mhm.
The continents of earth are everybody's thinking and mankind's collective knowing, which, if you've ever looked at it, wait a week and most of it changes. Scientific discoveries are here, wait a week, and most of them are old and
Totally.
discarded, and you learn something new. It's not about that thinking. There's universal knowledge that you can only have here, that you already have access to. And it's how much it's varnish, paint on the wall with multiple layers of paint. You have to strip away what you know, the judging, the fixed knowing, the knowing that precludes
Mhm.
possibility. You're not even your name technically. Oh, I hate to say that. I got once asked, aren't you the name on your license? And I just said from my heart, I'm actually not, if you can believe it. You're bigger than that. So no one
Yeah.
can limit you in any way. You limit yourself plenty. And the name of the game is to find your own way to slow down enough to realize it's not the way I think it is. You feel things very heavy because you're so empathetic. You're such an energy being. And
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
this. This is a regular Bic lighter. It's a light. People are going to see white, yellow, gold, whatever the normal light is that you see on a normal Bic lighter. But
Mm,
now, if everyone can give permission to let go and let angels, the universe, come in and show you that it's always bigger than you think it is.
yes.
And Ronnie and I did this before the show. Have angels make it nice. Just ask. Don't make it a big deal to you're asking, you're projecting all the time with every one of your thoughts, judges, my neighbor's a
Mhm.
jerk, my professor's a jerk, I'm stuck at work, I'm stuck at this. That's slinging arrows. Send love arrows instead. So ask angels to make it nice, to put a little extra light here that blows you away. From your
Mhm.
heart, just be like, angels, can you do like a little bubble of light? Pink isn't part of this. And let's make it easier for you. Go ahead, and
Yeah.
if you have to put your hand out to these guys, make a request. Be like, Charlotte, Joy, give me some blue, give me some pink, give me some fireworks, give me something that I know is not the lighter. Your brain, you can meet your ego. Your brain's going to be like, I didn't just see that. Your heart's going to be like, ooh, pretty. I just got a fuchsia that doesn't belong on a Bic lighter. And now, Ronnie, are you ready? I'm going to do it. Let's see if I can get it on the first try. Here we go. See what you can see. I'll get out of the way. What are you getting in addition to the yellow gold of the Bic lighter? No Triota. And here's my dad joke for everybody. Santa's reindeer, Blitzen, Dancer, just those two. Why do Blitzen and Dancer drink so much coffee? Because they're Santa's Starbucks. And as you laugh, you let go. What do people see above the light? Ronnie, what are you seeing?
I see pink. I don't know why I always go to the pink, because it's maybe the connection with the pink. I just always see the pink. Yeah, joy. My name means joy. So
Ah,
maybe,
that's what I meant to ask. I was about to look it up before the show. You told
yeah,
me a year ago and I blanked and then I forgot to look it up.
that's
Uh,
okay.
and
It's a
it's
Hebrew.
Ronel, but it's
Yeah,
Ronny for her nickname. So one
that's
N
it. I
and
used to go,
Ronel.
I used to go to work in South Africa, and I used to work on the Apple computers as a technical person. And I would arrive there and they say, "You're a woman." And every single time, "You're a woman." And it still happens in Germany. I always get Mr. on my post. But
Yeah.
I'm Ronel, even Ronel, Mr. And then maybe it's just the energy that it carries, male energy, because it's a male name. But
Yeah.
in South Africa, it's definitely not a male name.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit more about joy.
About being in joy or what? Okay, joy.
Here,
Joy
she'll
for
give
me.
you a clue and then run with it.
I just love joy. Joy for me is, this is what's coming up. When you were speaking about people in the situation and allowing for, the one big thing about joy, when you can come to a place by, like you said, letting go, allowing for, and you are in a joyful place, no matter what is in your external environment, that you are so blissful. This one guy, I give you an example. This one guy had an accident, 21-year-old. They said to him that you're going to have to stay in a wheelchair. And he went through his emotion, whatever you go through. And then he went, hang on a sec. I will be the happiest friggin' person in a wheelchair you have ever met. Within 3 weeks, he walked, but he made a choice. If this is going to be my life, I'm going to be the happiest person. So if you're in a job that you hate at the moment, which is closing your heart off, as Michael said, your heart gate, bam, it's closed. No opportunity. The quantum field functions in joy. You know, the joyful opportunities arrive or show up when your heart is open. So just like that guy, if you're in a job and you're just hating it, shift, allow for that job to be what it is as best you can. You don't have to do this perfect. Just start allowing, and it will get easier and easier. And the more allowing for is like approving, then the joy starts happening, the gratitude, and then you'll start, and all of a sudden, maybe you get a job offer from who knows where. You see, it's not about, oh, I hate my job. Now I'm coming home. Meditate, see the car, see the other job, see the other job. Oh, and then go down. Or tell your wife what an idiot the boss is. It's like the universe is going, oh, who am I responding to? You see, the joy of being wherever you are at this moment, just for now. How joyful can you be?
Expanding your awareness, allowing for more consciousness to flow through your entire being. You're already totally open, but good luck believing that in the first place. Good luck allowing for that. But here's the deal. If you're an artist, a musician, an athlete, a writer, on a good day where you wrote 10 pages, no effort for your book, those are the moments where you don't even give yourself credit and say, oh my God, 3 soccer goals in a row, 3 football goals on the pitch, no effort. You went for the run. You didn't even need your music. You ran 5 kilometers, 5 miles. You came back. You didn't even think twice. You're like, oh, I got to see trees. I had no concerns. It could be just making a meal. It could be the fantastic ability to just clean dishes and be Thich Nhat Hanh pieces every step. What level of contentedness, what level of centeredness, what level of connection to all will you allow for? It really comes down to what will you even allow for, because there's so much thinking, judging, and it's in the spiritual community. It's everywhere. It's me. We
Everywhere.
resist everything, and this is something that I know that mankind has yet to embrace. But every one of us has unlimited opportunity for growth, expansion. It never stops. But you'll meet lots of experts who may be New York Times bestsellers who, like us, are limiting 5 out of 7 days a week.
Absolutely. And you know what? Even like you said, in our experience, and we are awakening to who we really are. And then you go to the supermarket, you still experience, or you go and sit at a dinner table with people that you're getting good practice. Because
Yeah.
if you're judging them, it's you're right back to glitching, like, right, or having a blackout. So it's continual. Like, how can I allow people to be exactly what they want to be? How can I allow not to try and change somebody else? And this is in relationships. How can I give space to a person not to be an awakened like state? How can I allow? And the most amazing thing is that practicing that, you start seeing changes without you doing a thing. Oh, I love it, because it's like opening a smartie box or a beautiful thing, or like, Forrest Gump said, life is a box of smarties. And it's this truly a beautiful journey when you allow it to be a beautiful journey. You know, it
Yes.
really is.
I'm just writing something down. The allowing part, think of a supermarket, or let's do this. A lot of people pray for other people. And a guest last year on the APL show, Angels Positivity and Love show, said, don't do the prayer thing so much as just if you want to send unconditional love and light to someone, send it to their angels. They know how to distribute it. You're taking yourself more out of the picture from acting like you know what's best for their outcome, what they're going through, what they're receiving in life, their version of their difficulties, maybe exactly what they need. And it probably is. Life is ebb and flow, and a lot of our hardships build the most perfect foundation for us in each moment to allow greater capacity for that love, for our unfolding, for that unique life path that we've each got coming in as a human here.
Because, you know, we don't know what soul contracts people had before they came here. I know this is a whole different subject, but what if somebody planned that they will awaken when they are 15 and there's something that happens and everybody's praying, oh, please, defensive, help. I stopped praying. You know, I used to pray for my kids. And then one day this voice said to me, Source said, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because whatever you're doing there is so from fear. It's just
That's
not
another
bringing
part of it. Is it
it's not
fear-based?
bringing
Yeah, if it's
smoothly.
fear-based, it's more fear.
Totally. And then I stopped, and what I would do is get to a place of rest, and then I would just see the boys there the next day, and then I allow once again for everything to go away it's supposed to go, and not into, like you were saying, it's like sometimes I feel it's like people trying to do witchcraft on each other. Like they think it's prayer, but oh gosh, and then the person dies, and then they all get all upset. But you know, death doesn't even, okay, that's a whole, I won't
Sure.
go there.
But there's
Okay, I'm not gonna,
conditional love is what most people practice, and there's unconditional love. And the conditional love, there's actually no such thing. It's still unlove. Conditional love is still
yes,
unlove. It's unconsciousness. It's lack of awareness. It's not connectedness to all there is. And it takes just a lot of experience in life to understand the flow here, or the unflow, or the lack of flow. Uh, Technically it's 1%
yeah.
of 1% negativity to worse. I mean, guilt, doubt, fear, worry, stress, reacting, knowing to the preclusion of possibility. And then unconditional love is just being. And that's what
Yeah.
you keep talking about with the manifesting or touching the field and letting the universe do its job.
That's it. If we realize, it's more a realization. It's not actually anything but realizing what's here already. Then instead of going and searching all over the place, because if you go to India, you're still going to be you. It's still
Mm-hmm.
the same person. Go to Africa, you're still you. Not saying you mustn't do a retreat. Please, sometimes that's exactly the right thing, but you're carrying you. And if you have a bit of space at home, I find home is the best place to practice because it's boot camp. You know, you get to boot camp at home. And a lot of people, when you're out of that environment, it can be good. But then a lot of times they came back into the environment and everything was the same. So that's what Joe Dispenza also said. He said the neurons that fire up because of the remembrance as soon as the environment. So a lot of people, like they would go to a church or they would go to a seminar and they get healed and they go back into the environment and they get sick again because the memory, the identification with the environment. So I'm not saying don't, it's a good place. Sometimes people where they have problems in their marriage, I would say maybe just have a break and find like what is this, because you've got to sort yourself out. It's not a cancel culture. No, the husband is an idiot, and I'm not saying when he beats you, I'm not saying stay with him, but there's so much that people just go, just cancel this, cancel that, I don't want this, instead of dealing with why it is like that in the first place. Like Neil Daniel Walsh, it's amazing. He went through 7 marriages and then he really discovered love. But he said he could have done it after the first, second one. But like what I mean, love in the divine sense, like you said, if it's unconditional, there's still conditional. This is a deeper place. This is a place of divine, infinite intimacy with all that is. And yeah, like you said, we get to practice and enjoy and have fun. At least as you said, the joy thing is very important. Thank you, Joy. Because if you're not going to find the fun, I'm not saying in every second of the day you're going to, if you have a situation, but the joy opens up doors, brings opportunities. And that's what we back here, right back to what we were talking about.
Let's do a lightning round as if it's a game show. I'll put up an angel photo or a historical unconditional love figure. You'll just do, if it's okay, listening, and then it's a quick reminder of what they have for us. So here's Joy. We'll do someone we've already done. What does Joy have for us as a quick reminder?
Must I say that? Oh, okay. I just feel that manifestation is truly more about who you're being. And that is love, peace, joy.
Nice. And then here's Charlotte, an angel, everybody's favorite school teacher from childhood. What does Charlotte have as a reminder for us?
Spirit is always in motion.
Nice.
Like the ocean.
And then Geronimo, young Geronimo, action, dry wit, lightning bolt, unconditional love figure. What's Geronimo say?
Keep life simple. Don't forget to laugh.
And then red shirt is the gentlest mom in the world. He's compassion. Lakota Sioux chief wearing U.S. presidential medal. What's red shirt say?
That you are the compassion that you are seeking. So be compassionate to yourself.
That's good. Dolna, if I can do one that he said that there's not a lot I remember. I'm pretty blank a lot. But he said, life is a feast, partake. But here's Dolna, wisdom with some humor.
The world is within you. I just feel the wisdom of the world being within you.
Okay. Sai Baba from India. Anybody wants to catch an incense that you could never buy in a store? It's the highest vibration from India. If you need to close your eyes and do it, let him bring it to you. But then there's Sai Baba, Mr. Miracles. What does Sai Baba have for you, Ronnie, for us?
It's all about the heart and opening up that heart space to allow for love to flow, to allow for all the worries and the needs and the thinking just to dissolve in this beautiful space. If you trust it, that will bring the peace you desire.
Trust more, allow more, worry less, think less. Now, I've only been told that hundreds and hundreds of times by angels, especially back in 2012, 2013, 2014, and last week. Stress less, smile more. There's a million ways to be here. There's 40 million ways to be here. How are you spending your energy, your time, your moments? Guess what? You're still going to keep doing that stress and the worry and the fear and not liking Joe or Sarah or that football team or that coach or this or political party that or anything. But how are you cultivating your love is what I'll say. And speaking of which, here's the Moana Pacific Princess. If anybody remembers the opening scene of Moana, the Disney movie, the little girl goes out to pick up conch shells and the ocean parts, and a turtle swims by. She stays dry. This would be that angel whose light waves of energy and water smell your favorite ocean. If you don't even know what the Seychelles, Azores, or Rehoboth Beach in August smells like on a beautiful morning, have her bring you that smell. Or later today when your guard is down. Her name is Min, my guardian angel, professor. What does Min have for us all?
As you were speaking of the ocean, I was taken back to where I grew up in Salt Rock, South Africa, and I would be there at 5 o'clock in the morning. And this is such a representation of peace. And I think that's why you brought the beach up. If you go to the beach very early when there's hardly a wave and you just hear the lapping of the ocean, and what I'm getting out of that message is remember the ocean, if it feels like things are being drawn back, just know it's always coming. It might be pulling, but it's always more like the backup is always there. So that's what I felt.
Yeah, there's a metaphor I used to use. If you were standing on a rock just 3 feet into a calm ocean, so the waves are lapping around your rock, you're standing on it, you could just jump off onto sand. It's right there, but the waves get a little bigger. This is a metaphor for life. your rock is actually your heart. None of us even know usually where our heart is. We don't even know we're supposed to be standing on the rock. That's the path in life. We think it's physical steps on the path. It's actually no steps. It's allowing the unfolding so that the rock constantly is changing colors underneath you. You're experiencing
Yeah.
more all the time. But trust me, a big wave on a storm is going to knock you off that rock. All you have to do is get back to here. And that's the button. That's the practice. That's the mindfulness, meditation, going to Machu Picchu, India. You're the
Mm.
best in the world of football, soccer, but you went to India, discovered gurus and everything. You can still meet Vishnu, Krishna, Ganesh, but they're all going to tell you the same thing. And they're going to help you get to
Totally.
here. What will you allow for? I did it with hands. Okay. Claire,
So
an
true.
angel whose resilience, what's Claire have for you?
I was just reminded of
Yeah.
immediately, I was reminded, no, I think it comes from her. I'm reminded of a book by Larry Crane, and he has a book called Love Yourself,
Hmm.
and it's a PDF. I could send it to you, and it's just about approval and what happened in his life. And this is the same thing. We are saying the same thing over and over, opening your heart. So he started approving of everything that he used to resist.
Mm.
He would make a point, like we know now, when you open your heart, that's saying the full, but really meaning that yet, yes, is like an approving of what you're experiencing. So even when he was working and there was a new boss and he was impossible on the project, he said, okay, now I'm going to try it. And with everything in his life, his bank account, everything, he just started saying a full yes, I approve. And what happened was everything changed. Everything changed. The guy started just being like, it was like a fly to a moth to a flame. Started, that energy of his love, because he wasn't thinking anymore. He was just approving, because thinking says, you don't deserve that. You should be acting a different way. And this approval was just, and you said resilient, being resilient in approval, being resilient in allowing for, resilient in this. So I think that is the message here too. So
I have on my website by the suggested reading page at the very bottom, there's Joshu. It's the recorded sayings of Zen Master Joshu, a book by last name, the guy is Green who did the translation. But there are all these Zen sayings. They're not quite koans that you would spend a month, a year, the rest of your life trying to decipher. The entire point of any of the Zen stuff is to show you, are you still up here doing thinking? Are you present in your heart, connected to all, and spontaneous? So if two Zen masters run into each other at a creek, they will do these challenges. The pointy bird knows no paintbrush. And then the other one says something, and you're like, whoa. Sometimes it shows you're up here, sometimes it shows you're down here. I've got to read one that goes right to what you just said with Crane. A monk asked, which is just the student, the student trying to show that he's arrived, he's here, he can challenge the Zen master. A monk comes running up and asks, what is the fact of my own nature? The master said, if you put it that way, is there anything you dislike?
oh
Your
my God.
dislikes, your likes, even your likes, and I don't want to knock likes. I
Yeah,
think you should be
okay.
passionate about everything. But when you dislike truly, because there's 8 billion humans, if I line up all the dislikes, they all cancel each other out. Some people like sushi, some people don't like sushi. Is sushi amazing? Yes. Do you have to have it all the time? Is anyone forcing you to eat it? No. But can you appreciate? Yes. And can you just allow? Yes. And this goes for the New York Jets, the New England Patriots,
Yeah.
that Spanish football team, blah, 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 sailing, water, ocean, getting in the pool during a pool party. We resist humans
Yeah,
everything far more than we allow for our capacity to love. You have unlimited capacity to love. Get going is the only advice I've got. But Ronnie,
totally.
what about this kick in the ass, the clacking? Let's do Geronimo, older Geronimo. What does he say about get your butt moving with love, living, stop worrying and stress? Here's older Geronimo.
Absolutely. Get into the flow of life. And as you said, that love, that approval, that becomes the expression of everybody being a different expression of this whole beautiful rainbow. So we're not going to reject the rainbow, are we? We allow for it, and we just allow the expression. And like you said, the one in the pool, the person liking sushi. What if we allow for all these expressions? Isn't it so beautiful. It just excites me as you said that. It's just so gorgeous.
When you're loved, that's what allows you to have a broader perspective that appreciates the contrast.
Yes, that's it.
That's
Oh,
it.
I love that.
Because that is the transformation. Time, the details, my life story, the structure of everything is but a construct of the mind. And the mind is nothing more than like Sherlock Holmes magnifying glass. Now it can burn. You get it just right with the sun. You can set the grass on fire. Speaking of which, let's set something on fire. Here's Patience, Lucy. There's not an act, an endeavor, a project, a business you're starting, or a relationship that doesn't require this angel. She's a big angel, Patience. Put your hand out, feel what you can feel. Ronnie, if you want to see a little bit of white light in the air around you at a quantum field level, let's work that expression back in. We're talking to a quantum field, I love saying expert because we're all experts at it, but she's here to remind us about the quantum field and taking advantage of what you've already got.
I truly believe it is, when you brought Lucy up, I truly felt it's all about childlikeness, whether it's your business or whether it's your life. I think we spoke about before the call or earlier. The childlikeness is never forgetting the beginning of where there's wonder. And if I could just leave this with you, they did an experiment and they were looking for geniuses. So they took, do you know the story? They took a group of 5-year-olds and they tested them, and they were 95% of them were genius. And then they sent them to school. And after, I think, 6 years, they tested them again, and 50% were. And by the end, when they are 18, 1% was. So it just shows you, I think you were mentioning this before, when you lose your wonder, it's not actually lost, it's you forget your wonder. Why are children so incredibly creative? Because, and they don't think, they build castles. Like I remember playing with my brother. I mean, you just had a carpet. I'm sure you had one, a carpet, and it had like these lines. I mean, we used to play with cars on that, and we had cities on that carpet, and you needed nothing else. And this is no different. So become childlike, not childish, but childlike. So when, like we said, when you walk, find that childlikeness once again that's here. And then it just takes, do kids worry about where their food comes from? Do kids worry about what they're going to imagination, or do kids worry? And then they become 6 years old. I was with my niece in the UK, and her 5-year-old, he was 6 years now. And I said to him, they always talked about this one beautiful house. And I said to him, well, you can have that house. If you can imagine it, you can have it. He says, no, you can't. But he was already past. He's already been to school 2 years. So I was so shocked. I think it's just gone. It's gone to a stage where it's been early. And I don't want to look at the bad. It's not bad or anything. It just made me realize, oh my gosh, I need to start schools. This is my desire, to start schools of kids at 3, that they never forget their wonder. That's my desire. Are you joining starting schools?
Yeah, wonder, curiosity, enthusiasm, and there's a bunch more of those vibrations.
Yes.
That is your opening to your heart, to the connection to all, to the connection, if we'll call it the quantum field or the quantum delivery system. I'm going to do one last photo. 4 archangels: Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. People can put their hands out, and we'll do one exercise that's kind of fun. I don't know if I've done this on air or not, but we'll figure it out. Just get what you get from Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel. It doesn't matter who's who. And you can hear them all at once, one voice, 4 simultaneous voices, or 4 right after another, all pointing in the same direction. Allow for what you can allow for, no triota. Okay.
I just felt there are a lot of people watching that feel very exhausted, and they, like you said, a lot's been going on. The energy of the world, in many ways, especially if you hang around people that are not that positive, and they're feeling very disconnected from what we are saying. So we can maybe just stand together and just release love and ask their angels to connect with our angels right now, and just, they don't have to do this alone.
I'm going to do one mention of an example, and this keeps popping up. Went to Hawaii, a guest show, a podcast person, a show host of a podcast was kind enough to have us out to Hawaii for a week. And this is like 2 Decembers ago. But when in Hawaii, when you look up and it's nighttime, 2 a.m., midnight, whenever, it is the brightest stars. It's a little bit like Nantucket, but even brighter. Brightest stars ever. And that is the message I have of reminding about joy, curiosity, life, whatever you want to call this unlimited being that you are, to be or not to be Shakespeare. When is the last time you literally looked at the stars, you stepped out of your apartment, your house, you went out purposely, not because you were taking the garbage out, but that works. When did you
Without
pause?
shoes.
Yeah.
Not forget to take the shoes off.
Yeah, shoes off on the grass if it's safe to do so. And you look up and you're just like, holy cow. And that's it. And that, I mean, there's people who do make it a practice to see the sunrise, sunset. Now, it's a rarity, but I mean, I think I have some neighbors who are really cool from this one state who have moved in. And I swear they spend more time on their patio appreciating the outdoors, nature.
Wow.
I am just stunned. Now, you could do it with a TV in front of you on your back patio and still miss the show. We have choices we're making, whether we know it or not, consciously, unconsciously, consciously, unconsciously. It ain't going away. You're going to waste tons of energy for the rest of your life. And I'm going to do one last Joshu quote. The student comes running up to the master. What about it when I seek to be Buddha? Okay, and that's a legit. Everyone's tried to be God, Jesus, whatever. And the master says, what a tremendous waste of energy. And the student comes back with, well, what about it when I don't waste energy? And the teacher said, then you are Buddha. So the goal here is, can you recognize what a waste of energy is? What's you, what's broad, what's brilliant? You're just a jewel encrusted in the earth. I'm quoting someone now, for hundreds of millions of years. You just have to chip away a little and give yourself a break to see the diamond in the rough. What's Joy have for us to close this out, Ronnie? And this will be your own spiel too, but she's saying something that's in line with and aligned with how you roll, breathe, and operate.
Yeah, I truly find the joy in everything is truly a gate opener. It's truly something that changed my life. To see the fun in all things and laugh at yourself. I think that is the big laugh at yourself, because sometimes I stand there and I say Joy just reminded me of that. Don't forget, Ronnie, to laugh at yourself, because sometimes we take ourselves so seriously. And if I could just leave you with that, a lot of times, most of the things you worry about is not going to happen anyway. So start laughing at yourself.
Oh, I love it. Well, Ronel Lonzer in Germany by way of South Africa. Just to mention the website one more time, it's quantumu.co. Quantumu.co. That'll be in the fine print of the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, comment. What did you enjoy most of this? Which angel, which photo? Did you smell sage? I have people all the time now putting comments down saying, I caught the sage. They're watching this 2 weeks later. There's time and space are constructs up here. Same thing with your life story. Same thing with what you think my obstacles are, my problem is, my situation is, you just don't understand. Everything's pretty much a construct. Why don't you get constructing down here and operating in the quantum love field, as Ronnie will recommend. Ronnie, one last thing. If you had to give a mantra to us all, a simple one, the more we say it, the more we eventually start laughing at ourselves, laughing at everything around us, lightening up that ancient burden of self-importance that all of us carry within us, especially if we're a New York Times bestseller on the Watkins 100 list and we're taking ourselves way too seriously. What do we do with this levity we can have anytime we wish when we want to pay attention?
Well, I've got a quote that is very, very close to my heart, and it is, if you believe it's true, you are right. If you don't believe it's true, you're right.
That's a good one. I like it. Okay, Ronnie, thank you very much from Germany. You're the best. I really appreciate you being on the show. This has been the APL Spotlight series. Again, subscribe, like, hit that button, even hit the notification button. I've never said that before. Okay, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Tschüss.
Bye-bye.